In our class today, we'll be working, we'll kind of do a full, well-rounded, a little of this, little of that, but we'll focus on some shoulder mobility to start. So before we do that, we're going to do a little myofascial release. Let's just sit for a second, and you can sit any way you like. I'm going to sit cross-legged on a block. You could do that too, or be on a blanket, or no props, just whatever's comfortable. Yeah. And oh, and I forgot to ask if you guys are on Zoom, if you could mute your own mics, that'd be very helpful so there's no background noise. From your position here, just stretch the arms out on the diagonal, and you might touch the floor with your fingers and you might not. Either way is fine. Yeah, sit up really tall and just tilt the right ear towards the right shoulder. Yeah. Stay there on the side and do like a little yes, like a nod. And then we'll stay in the chin down position and change to a no. It's getting a little neck stretch in there. And then we'll undo, coming back up to center and tilt side two. So left ear towards the left shoulder. And let's do our little yes. And our little no. This side for me is much tighter than the first side. And then we'll come back to center. Let the arms relax. Let your eyes close if that feels okay. And if not, just keep your focus kind of soft. And give yourself a moment to arrive. Body and mind together. Let's try to get a sense of your breath. And notice where you feel sensation or movement every time you breathe. Where in the body that's happening. And allow your chin to bow down towards your chest. Let the eyes blink open. And we'll take the head back up to center. Yeah. So let's actually stay sitting for one more moment. This will be like a pre-check. Take the arms, reach the arms up overhead, and just roll along. Notice how far the arms go back, and release. So we're going to do a little myofascial release for this area, the lat muscles and the serratus muscles. And when this gets bound up, it can limit how far we lift the arm. So hopefully afterwards we'll recheck and see if there's any more movement. So I'm going to show two different ways to do this. Those of you who are on a block, you'll angle the block on the diagonal, and you're not going to have it right in the armpit. It's going to go a little bit below that. And let me show you, it doesn't matter what side you're on, just pick a side. And you can decide if you are going to prop your head on the bottom arm or on the top. Whichever feels easier for you. Yeah, and Jenna, move the block so it's angled a little bit. The top part of it, tilt it like this. Yeah. Okay, now that's you guys on the block, and you'll just take a little kind of forward back rock. If you don't have the block, you'll use your blanket or towel and roll it up and make it rather a thick sort of roll. And you guys are going to be a little closer to the floor, so I'll suggest propping your head with the bottom arm for this one. And you'll do the same thing, forward and back. Now it's meant to not hurt. Tell me if it's hurting you and we can adjust. It might not feel exactly like, oh, this is amazing, but
my lats are a little sore.
They're a little sore. Go get a blanket and do the rolled blanket and see if that feels better. Yeah. And those of you who have both props, if the block is too hard, it can feel a little icky. So the blanket might be a better choice. Yeah. Then we're gonna pause next time you rock slightly back and do kind of a cat-cow-like motion in the upper part of the spine. You can leave the pelvis alone. Is that better? Oh, you haven't done it yet. And then pause. And let's take one more kind of forward back. Yeah. Is that better with the roll? Great. So when we come up, you can stay there for a little longer and do the little cat-cow. All right, let's take a halfway check-in. So roll closer to the floor. Use the top arm to press down and come back up to sit. And we'll do a halfway check. So let's take the arms up overhead and just notice if the side you've done has a little more room to go. You gotta keep the arms straight when you do that. Cool. Anybody?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a yoga miracle. Let's come down and we'll do side two. So if you know what you're doing, go ahead and get there. I'm just gonna describe it again. For the block folks, it'll be on the diagonal here. And it's not right at the armpit, a little bit below. You can either support with the bottom arm or the top arm. And then those of you on the blanket roll, it's the same placement, but you'll be for sure on the bottom. So let's take your side, this side for me is a little intense. You might feel like kind of some lumps in there when the muscles are tight. In yoga, we have a lot of poses with the arms overhead. And if you're standing, obviously, when you lift the arms, but then in something like down dog, you're upside down, but the arms are still in the same position. So if you have tight shoulders in down dog, this might help. Let's pause next time you're in the back position and do a little cat-cow, mostly in the upper back. And I'm curious, are you finding a difference on side one versus side two?
This one's not.
Not as bad, yeah. Interesting. For me too, the left one is much tighter than the right one was. And then pause. Let's take one last pass through the forward back rock. You won't do this the whole time, just for another moment. And then let's press up, coming back up to sit. One last little check-in here. So up come the arms, go up, 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 and then just test it out. See how far they go back easily. Yeah, hey Jen, I see some more room in there, for sure. All right, and then release. Sometimes it's funny, we don't pay a lot of attention to here, but when you do start paying attention to it, it almost feels like you're in a straitjacket, and then this thing helps open you up a little bit. All right, so let's take your stuff out of the way. And we'll meet in all fours position, hands and knees. And then once you get into your all fours, just give yourself a little bit of time for anything at all. And that could be just made up movement. It could be an official cat-cow, anything that you like. And then we'll let the movement settle down. And let's keep the pelvis fairly quiet and let the next set of movements be mostly in the shoulder blades and upper back. At first, let the chest sink a little bit towards the floor, and then press into the floor and let the chest lift. Do that a few times. And then we'll pause the next time the chest goes towards the floor. Stay there and also now move the chest forward and try to move the shoulder blades down the back. And you won't go far, it's just a little bit. And then we'll press into the floor. Let the shoulder blades go apart when you do that. And then we'll go back down again. So the chest sinks down, shoulder blades will naturally come closer together. And then pull the chest forward, the shoulder blades down the back. Press into the floor, let the shoulder blades widen. So we're making almost a little circle. Just keep going with that pattern. It's similar maybe to a swimming kind of motion. And you might start to get a little fatigued right around the lower part of the shoulder blades or the side of the shoulder blades, and that's fine, that's normal. If you're feeling fatigued right around the top part of the shoulders and in the neck, maybe you need to realign the head. Maybe the head is drooping or lifting. You can fool around with the position of your head. And then let's take a little break from this. Go back to child's pose. Keep the arms forward and just pause. Give yourself a little wiggle. And in your hands, let's take spider fingers. Perch up onto the tips of the fingers. Give the mat a little squeeze with the hands. And let's put the hands back down and feel what happens to the shoulder blades, to the neck, when you press the hands down and also push them forward. And then feel what happens when you do the opposite. Try to pull the hands towards your knees. Yeah, let's do that a few times. A little push and pull. And then we'll combine this somewhat with the previous motion we did. The next time you're doing the pull, pause, bend the elbows a little, lift the hips, come forward. And then once you're in your all fours, do the push. Hands push down, the back rounds. Keep pushing as you go back to child's pose. Elbows bend, let's create the pull forward, come up. And then the push down and go back. Keep pushing on the way back. So just a little pull, little push. And I'm not trying to get you to be too aggressive with the push and pull. It's just a direction. Yeah, but you don't have to do max capacity, just a little bit. Great. Now the next time we go back to child's pose, we'll change. Stay in your child's pose, walk the arms a little more forward, press the mat down into the floor, round the back up through cat pose. Keep coming forward until the spine unravels itself. Elbows will bend, and we'll come all the way down to the belly. Yeah, let's stay here down on the belly. Come up a little bit and roll the shoulders, one shoulder and the other shoulder, so you're making a little slither action. Good, good. And then pause right in the middle. Let's peel up again. Cobra, keep it small. Press the hands into the floor. Let's go back to child's pose. And now we'll do this pattern again. So hands are down on the floor. Create a pull as you round up through cat. Continue to come forward, elbows bend, and then we end up all the way down on belly. Yeah, this time just the cobra, and then press back to child's pose. We'll take that pattern one more time, so create the pull as the back rounds. Yeah, it's different than the last one. Keep coming forward, the spine unravels. Yes, the elbows bend around the belly. Good. Inhale into your cobra. And now let's go back to child's pose with the toes tucked under this time. Keep your hips a little lifted so you don't go all the way back completely. Look at your hands and make sure they're at least shoulders width apart and that you've got some good space between your fingers. Lift the knees off the floor, they'll stay bent. Try to press the mat forward with your hands, lengthening, finding that space is that same arms overhead position. Yeah, and then let the legs start to go straighter, and feel free to add in anything. If you want to pedal, that might feel good. If you want to shift a little, that might feel good. Yeah. And then if down dog is feeling a bit much for the moment, maybe you have the knee on the floor and just one leg back. You go back and forth. You can do that just to stretch out the legs. Deal. All right, friends, from here, from down dog, let's step the feet wide apart. Bend your knees and walk your hands to the feet, going to the back of the mat. Prop yourself up so the forearms are on the thighs. And then in this position, let's create the pull effect. So the forearms press down, and without moving them, try to pull them towards the hip creases. Draw the chest forward and notice what that does. And then can you tone a little bit through the low belly? Yeah. On the next inhale, let's come all the way up to stand. Raise the arms, lengthen the legs. Release the arms. Awesome. Stay standing. Bend the knees a little bit. From the shoulder blades in your back, let them start to move as the whole body comes along. And it's a-okay, maybe the heels lift up off the floor. Maybe add a little more rotation. All right, and next we're gonna catch some butterflies. So pretend there's butterflies all around you and they're flying around and you've got to catch them. And you don't have to keep the feet planted, you can move a little bit. But you've got some down below, some behind you, some above you, and then some are just barely out of reach, so you've got to go a little extra. Yeah. Great, great, great. And now there's more butterflies, so you've got to go a little faster. Yes, okay, great. Okay, great. And now they're migrating, so they've gone. Let's pause. Reset your stance so the feet are more right underneath you. And just take a second. Sometimes that gets the heart rate up. Let's put one hand on the chest, one hand on the belly. Close your eyes if that feels okay. And just take a moment here. Maybe you feel the heartbeat. Maybe you sense your breath. And then let's let the eyes open. Release the arms. And we'll take an arms overhead position. I'm going to have my back to you. And I'm actually going to come closer to the screen so they can see my shoulders at home. Guys, you can join me here. Let's take the arms up. And feel what happens in the neck and the shoulders when you turn your palms forward, which is kind of like down dog arms. Do you feel that kind of bunchiness going on in the neck? So we're going to bend the elbows a little bit. Turn the elbow tips forward and the thumb tips back, so it's rotating. And do you see how that clears some space for the neck? Let's keep this space as we re-lengthen the arms. Yeah. Great. Let's do it one more time. So the elbow, here, feel the difference. Palms turn forward, and you can exaggerate that just to feel how, icky it is. And then bend the elbows a little bit. Elbow tips turn forward, thumb tips back, find the rotation. And then re-lengthen the arms. Yeah, and let's even exaggerate the lift from the triceps, the back of the arms to the pinkies. Lift even more, but then counter that in the front ribs. Take the front ribs down. 5. All right, release, shake it out. Great, so we're gonna practice that, that little rotation in a couple different poses. Let's stay at the back of the mat. Go ahead, one more time, arms come up. This is just a drive-by. Exhale, down we go, forward fold, Uttanasana. Come up halfway, lengthen. Lower yourself down. Let's walk the hands forward and pause when you get to plank pose. And then we'll come back to our all fours, hands and knees. We're just here. Now, from this position, don't move your hands. Bend the elbows just a little bit. Can you turn the elbow tips back, rotating the arms? Feel what that does in this position. And then press the arms to straight. Yeah, so it's different, but it still gives you the same space in the neck, huh? And then let's come down to the belly. We'll come back to that again in a little bit. Keep your hands right by the side lower ribs. Lift the front of the shoulders away from the floor. Oh, Jenna, that's gorgeous. Point the elbows towards the back wall. And without going anywhere, try to drag the hands towards the back of the mat as you pull the chest forward. So we're not going up high, but there's a fair amount of work going on in the upper back. If you'd like to add on, maybe the legs lift. If that throws you off, just keep the legs down. Excellent, excellent work. My friends in the studio look great, and my friends online I can't see, so I bet it looks good too. Let's put the legs down if they came up. Go back, take a brief child's pose. Let's keep the toes tucked under. Take a quickie spider fingers, just a little wrist reliever. And then let's try this arm rotation again. So set the hands down. Bend the elbows a little out to the sides. Don't move the hands. Let the elbow tips turn in towards each other. The biceps turn forward. We're going to add one more thing. Can you press into the base of the thumbs without de-rotating the arms? Maybe you can, maybe you can't. Give it a try. Let's lift the knees, send the hips up and back, downward facing dog, or you can stay on the all fours if you need to. Take a little pedal with the legs again if you need that. All right, let's take it one more time in down dog. So pause here. Don't move the hands. Bend the elbows a little bit out to the sides. Turn the elbow tips towards each other. Find the rotation, yes. And then press into the hands to go straighter in the arms. Yeah, awesome. I'm looking right at you. It looks so good. Then to get out of this, friends, let's take a forward fold. You can either walk feet to the hands or hands to the feet, your choice. Root down through the legs. Inhale, all the way up we stand. Exhale, release the arms. Yeah, give it a little shake out. So a lot of times when the shoulders get bunchy, the cue is to either bring the shoulders down or relax the shoulders, but it doesn't really work with the way the shoulder anatomy is. Let's try it. Take the arms up, turn the palms forward, find that bunchy shoulder position, and then just try to push the shoulders down. See how it doesn't do this thing, it doesn't unjam. And then let's bend the elbows, find the rotation to give this space, and then lengthen the arms. Ah, gorgeous. All right, release that, shake them out. So next we'll take the warrior two and side angle with this in mind. And I'm gonna have, let's bring your mat a little this direction. And I'll have you guys, even more. Yeah. I'm gonna have you guys stand in the middle of the mat and face this direction. Okay. And then everybody at home, you can join me here. Just stand in the middle of the mat. Let's everybody take your feet wide. And we'll go this way first, which means the back leg, left leg will turn in, and the right leg will turn out. I said that wrong. You guys do the other side. That's, so you're facing me. So you can turn the right leg in and the left leg out. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to say front leg and back leg because I messed up the rights and lefts already. Let's take the hands to the hips, bend your front knee and look at it. Make sure the knee is just pointing straight ahead forward. And when we do that, the pelvis will be on a little bit of a diagonal. Leave the pelvis alone, but can you turn the shoulders towards the long end of the mat? Yeah, exactly, so turn the shoulders this way, great. And then let's take the arms out wide. Go ahead just for a second, bend the elbows and let the front of the shoulders roll forward. And when we do that, the upper back rounds. Then let's do the opposite, turn the palms of the hands up, let the backs of the shoulders roll down the back, and then re-lengthen the arms. Yeah, great. Keep the length. Can you keep this position in the shoulders and just turn the palms of the hands down? Ah, without the shoulders coming with. Maybe you have to do it a few times. Great. All right, are you breathing? Nice job, guys. Let's come back up for a sec. Stay on this side, hands on the hips. And then you'll bend the right knee again, the front knee, I mean, again, but don't go too deeply. With the hands on the hips, let's do a few tilts in the pelvis, just to bring a little mobility into the front ball and socket joint. Good. And then let's stay in the tilted position, and whatever arm is forward, let's take that forearm onto the thigh, and we'll do the pull action. So without moving it, try to pull it in so that you get a little activation there. And now your top arm, let's take it out on the diagonal overhead and feel what happens here. So more towards the front of the room, Jen, if you can. Yeah, bend the elbow and then turn the tip of the elbow forward. So you guys, it'll be towards this wall. You guys at home, it'll be towards me. It's the same rotation, and then re-lengthen the arm with that rotation in mind. Yeah. Stay here, press a little more into your heels. That'll create some stability. And on the inhale, we'll return to center. Yeah, all right. Hands to the hips. Let's take it to side two. You guys can actually, can you still see me? Not really. You can just change to the other side. All right, just a little logistical thing here. So go ahead and bend the front knee, the new front knee, and look at it as you're bending it. Make sure it's going forward, not knocking in, which means the pelvis will be on a little bit of a diagonal. leave that alone. Square up the shoulders towards the long end of the mat, and then we'll take the arms out wide. Yeah, let's bend the elbows a little bit, and just a tiny bit, let the shoulders roll forward. See how that feels? And then let's do the opposite. Turn the palms up, let the shoulders open from the front down. That's it, and then keep that as you lengthen the arms. And just can you lengthen the back arm a little more? And then don't move the shoulders. Can you turn the palms of the hands down? Awesome. Yeah, you got it. If you need to do it a few times, go ahead and do. If it feels okay to turn your face to the forward arm, go ahead and do. Can you press a little more into the heels and the legs? Yeah. All right, and then back off a little. Let's take the hands to the hips. We'll rebend the front knee, and first just that tilt in the pelvis. Just find a little mobility in there in the hip socket. Good, good. Let's stay in the down position, tilted position, and then take the forearm onto the thigh. And without moving it, try to draw it back towards the hip crease. Yeah, good, good. And then the top arm, let it come overhead on the diagonal towards for you to the front of the room, for you to the back of the room. And then bend the elbow a tiny bit. Turn the tip of the elbow forward. Yeah, finding that rotation, gorgeous. And then re-lengthen the arm, keeping the rotation. So good, are you breathing? Can you press more into the heels, create the stability in the legs? We're coming up on an inhale. Excellent work, you guys. Let's parallel the feet. Bring yourself back together, just kind of stand. Take a little bit of movement, maybe a little hula hoop. Good, good. Other direction. And then let's take this a sec just to kind of a regroup after those asymmetrical shapes. Medium stance with the feet. Bend the knees, bring the hips back, and take the forearms on the thighs. Now from this position at the tops of the thighs, can you press out a little wider? Again, a little bit through the ankles, just enough so the weight's even on your feet. Without moving the arms, try to pull the forearms back and draw the chest forward. Great. Create a little tone through the belly. On the inhale, we'll come all the way up. Lengthen, lengthen. Exhale, release the arms. Yeah. All right. You guys seem quiet, but if there are questions, let me know. We'll come to the back of the mat and we'll do our little arm rotation in plank pose. It'll be so fun. We'll see what happens. Inhale up. Exhale down, forward fold. Come up halfway, lengthen. And then when we come down, we'll go to plank pose. If you need to do either plank on the knees or just all fours position instead of plank, totally fine. Do that if you need. From your position here, tiny, tiny bit, can you bend the elbows? Turn the elbow tips back and move the chest forward so the shoulder blades move down the back. And then press into the floor. Lengthen the arms. Lift up a little more through the belly. Yeah, good. Good, good, good. Candace, think of expanding the back lower ribs a little more. Yeah, that's it. That's it. And then everybody, let's come down to the belly. That was not easy, was it? Take a little rest. Yeah, take a little wobble. Let's rest the forehead on the hands. Make a little pillow. Yeah, and then one leg at a time. Lift, pull back, come down. Other side, lift, pull back, come down. And then let's just work on the lower body for a sec. Lift the low belly away from the floor. And keep the lift as you also lift the legs, which means they won't be able to go high. Yeah, and then set them back down. Do that 2 more times. So lift the belly, lift the legs, and set them down. 1 more time, lift the belly, lift the legs, stay like that. Move the arms slightly forward and the elbows slightly in. You'll lose some of the lift in the belly. From here, press down and try to pull. Forearms draw back, chest draws forward, finding that lift. Yeah. Oh, you guys look magnificent. All right, down we come. Take a little rest, take a little wobble. Let's go back to downward facing dog. Go ahead and just get there. All right. And then from your down dog here, let's separate your feet wide. Bend the knees, press the mat forward, press the hips back, and keep the knees bent. Let's do our arm rotation. Elbows bend a little. Turn the elbow tips back, the biceps forward, and then re-lengthen the arms. Yes, great. And then maybe re-lengthen the legs. If you prefer to keep the knees bent, that's fine. All right. Let's meet in a forward fold. Any way you want to arrive is fine. Root down through the legs. Inhale, we come all the way up to stand. Exhale, release. Let the arms come down. Yeah, let's just shake them out a little bit. Alrighty, so I'll recommend blocks for the next part, and if you don't have them, you just go without. Let's set up the blocks at the front of the mat, one on each side. And then also we'll be bringing a knee down. If you need padding for that, you can set that up. We won't be for long, but just it's coming. All right, so from your mountain pose, let's stand with the feet a little bit apart and the hands in prayer. Bend your knees, bring the hips back, come into a variation of chair pose, Utkatasana. Yeah. And then on the inhale, let's separate the arms, straighten the legs, arms go out and up. On the exhale, bend the knees, sit back down into your chair. Let's do that 2 more times. So the inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Great. Now bring your hands to the shins. Let's take our half lift. Move the chest forward. Can you move the shoulder blades down the back when you do this? Yeah. And then down we come, hands to the floor or to your blocks. Let's bring the right leg back. And here we are in our lunge variation. Yeah. So if you guys have blocks, make sure they're on the same line as the front foot, right underneath the shoulders. Exactly. Now, those of you on the floor, if you need to have the fingertips down instead of a flat hand, you can do that way. Now, whatever you have your hands on, don't move the hands, but try to drag them back as you move the chest forward. Yes, good. And then back off. Do it again. Hands try to drag back as the chest pulls forward. And then back off. Let's do one more time. Great. Now from here, press a little more into the left heel, the front leg. And you choose. Arms can stay down, or they could stretch back. And if they're back, have the elbows a little bit bent. Same rotation, different position. Can you turn the elbow tips towards the ceiling and then re-lengthen the arms? Yeah. Keep doing that as the rib cage draws forward. Create space. Nice work. Let's come down. Take the back knee down to the floor. You can keep the toes tucked under or flat. And then your choice. Maybe you just come into a forward fold, straightening the front leg. Maybe you go back and forth a couple of times just to kind of release that previous shape, because we're about to go again. All right, let's pause with the front knee bent. Tuck the back toes under, lift the back knee, so we're in the same position again. Can you draw the pelvis back, the chest forward, and press down a little more into the left heel? Yeah, great. Now from this position, if it felt okay to take the arms back, go ahead and start there. And if you want to add on, great. If not, stay. If you're adding on, take the arms now forward. Everybody with the arms either forward or back, little bend in the elbows, find a rotation. So if they're forward, the elbows point down. If they're back, they point up. And then re-lengthen the arms. Yes. So good. Down we come, rest. Back knee up or down. Take whatever you want in the front leg just for a second. Okay. You guys are amazing. I know it's not easy. It's not easy. Let's keep the front knee bent. Step the back foot forward. Root down through the legs. Inhale all the way up and stand. And exhale, release the arms. Just wiggle it out. Yeah, nice work, you guys. The good thing about being human is we've got 2 legs. So let's try it out. Here we are, mountain pose. Let's keep the feet a little apart still for these. Slightly different variation in our chairs. Let's inhale the arms up. On the exhale, bend the knees, bend the elbows. Chair pose. Yeah, take it again. Inhale up. Exhale back down. When we come up, let's turn the palms in towards each other. Yeah. And back down. All right, from here, half lift, hands to the shins, lengthen the spine. Lower yourself down, left leg back. Hands on your blocks if you have them, and if not, maybe on the fingertips. Now, without moving your hands, try to pull them to the back of the room as you move the chest forward. Oh, yeah. And then back off, and do it again. And back off. Let's do it one more time. Great. Now, you decide if this is already enough, stay with the hands down. Everybody press a little more to the right heel. If you're up for more, take the arms back, little bend in the elbows. Elbows turn up towards the ceiling, find a rotation, and then re-lengthen the arms. Ha! Excellent work. Let's come down, hands release. Bend the back knee, bring it to the floor. You can keep the toes tucked or not, your choice. You could shift back and just stay. You could go back and forth. Take a moment for whatever you need before we go back up again. Hands, are you okay? Yeah. If you need to put the blocks higher too, that might feel better. And if that's still not high enough, you could do this if you need to. These tight hammies. Yeah. Yeah, that looks a little easier. All right, friends, let's set up for our round 2. The front knee bends. If you need to keep the back knee down, you can. If you're good to come up, up we come. All right. Now from your position, first, can you create length through the torso? Press down a little more into the right heel. And then if you're going for arms forward, let's go back first, just to stretch out a little bit. Either stay here or take the arms forward. And if your arms are up, bend the elbows a little bit. If they're forward, elbows are turning down. If they're back, they're turning up. And then everybody re-lengthen. Oh, yeah. Excellent. I see a nice tremble in there. Good, good, good. Let's bring the arms down. And then take whatever you want. Maybe the back knee is down. Maybe it's up. Maybe you go back and forth. Maybe you just hold one position. I know it's not easy. You guys are amazing. Let's pause, bend the front knee, step the back foot forward. Inhale all the way up and down. And release the arms. Yeah, let's celebrate. Asana. It's October, my favorite month, because it's almost Halloween for real. Let's go the other way. I've been saying that since like July, but now we're really almost there. All right, and then let's take another one of these. Medium stance, bend the knees, hips shift back, forearms on the thighs. Move the pelvis back, move the chest forward. Yeah. All right. And then on the inhale, let's come all the way up. Let the arms go. Okay. So in a sec, we'll put all of this stuff together, but let's do a little bit of balance work first. The movement will be fairly simple. It'll be, I'm just going to show real quick, open, close, open, close. If that's too much, you could put your foot on a block and just pivot. You could do it that way. You could put your hand on a wall if balance is an issue. So wherever you need to be, go ahead and set that up. And then I'll mirror you guys. So let's pick up your right leg or put the right foot on the block if you're doing that version. And take the left arm forward with a slight bend in the elbow. Let's do the inhale to open and the exhale to close. Do that a few more times and notice what's going on in the shoulder blade when you open and close. See how it moves on the back. Great. We're going to stay in the open position. Press down firmly through the standing foot, hone through the belly, and only do it if it's a good idea. Let go and Look, Mom, no hands. Down we come, rest. Okay, don't worry, we'll stretch this out in a moment. Let's set up for our second side. So if you need props or whatever, go get them. And then up we come. Left leg is up, right leg is down, right arm in front. Press the standing foot down and let's inhale, open. Exhale, close. Keep going. Notice what's going on in the shoulder blade. And we do our open and close. And then let's stay in the open position. Press the standing foot down again. I almost lost it. And then if you'd like, you can lift. If that's not a great idea, don't do it. Okay, down. Yeah. All right. Nice work. So let's set up the blocks again at the front of the mat, those of you who've got them. And we'll do a bunch of poses in a row. I'm just debating if I should mirror you or not mirror you. I'm going to not mirror you. So here we are at the front. Inhale the arms up. Let's exhale into our cactus chair pose. Yeah, do 2 more of these. Inhale up, palms turn in. Exhale down, palms turn forward. Last one, inhale it's up. Exhale it's down. Reset, hands on the shins. Inhale, we lengthen forward. Exhale, we come down, step the right leg back, setting up for your lunge pose. Yeah. Now from here, can you draw the chest forward, try to pull the arms back without moving them. And we're just gonna stay in this position for now. Turn the back heel down to the floor. And before you come up to warrior 2, make sure the front knee stays forward. You don't wanna let it knock in. Up we come for our warrior 2. Yes, we were here before, just getting there a little differently. Slight bend in the elbows, turn the palms up. Find that open shoulder or front of the shoulder position. Re-lengthen the arms. And can you turn the palms down without the shoulders rolling forward? You can look left if that feels okay. All right, and then let's come down, forearm on the thigh, right arm comes overhead. On the bottom arm, try to draw back towards the hip crease. On the top arm, bend the elbow. Turn the elbow tip forward, find the rotation, and then re-lengthen the arm. All right. Then to get out, look down at the floor. Release the arms, turn the back heel up. We're in our lunge pose again. Yeah, blocks can be any height. And then last thing here, can you lengthen the torso? You choose. Arms stay down, arms go back, arms go forward. Whatever position you're in, if the arms are up, can you do that little rotation? Elbows bend, rotate, and then lengthen. Yeah, so good. Down come the arms. Let's take the front foot a little wider so the blocks are to the inside. And then from here, step the back foot a little forward so the heel is down on the floor. If you're finding this is too low, you can stack your blocks. If you don't have blocks, you can put your hands on the front thigh and just kind of squeeze in and let the thigh be a little support system. So you can hold this steady. You could go a little back and forth. You could, there's a couple different things you could do. I'll leave it up to you. Yeah, a little bit of a hamstring stretch and maybe a little calf stretch on the back leg, huh? Right, yeah, or maybe a big one. Let's keep the front knee bent. Spin that back heel up, wiggle the leg back a little bit, and then let's move the blocks if you're on blocks. We're heading back to downward facing dog. Once you're in your down dog, slight bend in the elbows. Turn the elbow tips in, find the rotation, and then re-lengthen the arms. Yeah, you guys, so good. Let's come down. We'll bypass plank, just go through plank to get to the belly. You could put the knees down first if you need. Yeah, oh, relief. Lay down. But we're going to do the upper back thing again. So let's stay with the hands right by the side, lower ribs. Lift the shoulders away from the floor so the collarbones broaden. Oh, so good. Without moving your hands, try to pull them towards the feet. Let the rib cage draw forward as it lifts. If you wish to lift the legs, great. If not, just leave them down. All right, our legs go back down. Let's press back, downward facing dog. From here, we'll come to the front of the mat, feet forward, stay low down. Just a halfway lift. And then come down. Go ahead, bend the knees a little bit. Do that 2 more times. So the halfway lift. And then down. 1 more time, halfway lift. And then down. Let's take your blocks if you're using them. Left leg steps back, lunge pose. Yeah, this is our grand finale here. From here, can you lengthen the torso long? That's it. Turn the back heel down to the floor. And then we come up into our warrior 2 pose. Yes, this will be our last warrior 2. Just for a second, bend the elbows. And then from here, turn the palms up. Let the shoulders open, the collarbones broaden. Really lengthen the arms. And then turn just the palms of the hands down without the shoulders rolling forward. Yeah. All right, let's hinge forward, forearm on the thigh, left arm overhead. Press the forearm down and try to drag it towards the hip crease. Then take the top arm, little bend in the elbow. Find the rotation, turn the elbow forward and re-lengthen. Actually, Jenny, you went the other direction. Bend the elbow again. That's okay. Turn the elbow this way. That's it, and then go. Yeah, does that feel a little better? Okay, good. And then look down at the floor. Release the arms, turn the back heel up. From here, we'll step the back leg a little forward. Walk the right foot a little wider and bring the arms to the inside. If it's too much on your hands, put your hands on the thigh. And then if it's too much on the blocks, then you need to make a little block tower yuki. So you can either just hold the position still, you could do a little bend and straighten, you could do a little hip shift. Yeah. Candace, can you adjust your right foot so it points straight for the front one? Yeah, you can turn the back one out actually a little bit. The heel comes down. All right, friends, to get out of this, let's turn the back heel up, rebend the front knee, arms come down, you can kind of wiggle the back foot a little bit back. We're going to plank pose, this will be our last one. You can take it on the knees if you need, and then let's find our rotation. Elbows bent, elbows go back, chest comes forward, shoulder blades move down the back, and then press into the floor, re-lengthen. Oh yeah, good, good, good. Candace, can you lift up the lower ribs? Yes! And then everybody, child's pose. Knees come down. Take a little break. Hips come back. Let's support your forehead. And that could be on a block. It could be on your own arms. If you can't go all the way down to child's pose, you could put your hands in your forehead, in the hands like that. Yeah. Now it might feel nice just to either shift the hips or to turn the head from side to side. Or both. And then from here, friends, let's bring ourselves upright, coming to sit. Swing the legs around. Let's sit in Dhanasana with the legs straight out. Now, some of us, a couple things, sometimes it can be tight hamstrings, sometimes it can be a lower back thing. If we find that we're rounding and the pelvis is rolling back, you might be happier sitting up a little bit. So you can take a prop and just stick it under the pelvis there. I'm just going to show that. Yeah. And then this will help too. For everybody, let's go onto your fingertips. Press the floor down with your hands and sit up tall. And now, it's not exactly the same, but kind of. Can you bend the elbows a tiny bit? Turn the elbows back, but really we're rolling the top of the shoulder back. And then press down. Yeah, great. It's like your collarbones could smile. Yeah, now you could stay like this with hands down, or you could take the arms up. And if you take the arms up, guess what we're gonna do? Little bend in the elbows, elbows forward, thumbs back, and then re-lengthen. Yeah, you could pretend that somebody's up there pulling on your hands. And then can you relax the shoulders, but don't shove them down. Now just let them relax a little bit. Yeah. Goodness, I would actually keep the hands down. I think that'll feel better for you. All right, and then let's everybody release. Release the legs, release the arms, just give them a little jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. Great, let's come on now to your back, and we'll be if your knees bent, feet on the floor. Take your elbows on the floor, elbows are bent, I call it robot arms. And then press the backs of the shoulders, not so much the shoulders, the triceps, the backs of the arms down into the floor. And at the same time, press the shoulder blades up into your back. And then back off of that, let's go again. So the arms press down, the shoulder blades press up, specifically the inner shoulder blade. And then back off. Let's go one more time, press the arms down, inner shoulder blades up. Now, if this is a lot, just stay like this or go back to the pulse, the back and forth. If it's feeling okay, you want more, closer to the elbows, press down harder, and maybe for some of you, the shoulder lifts a little bit, the back of the shoulder. Very strong action. And then relax for a second, yeah. We're gonna go one more time with an add-on, and if you don't wanna add on, you'll skip it. So here we go, robot position. Press the backs of the arms down, the shoulder blades up into the back. And then you decide if that's it, great. If you wanna lift the hips coming into a bridge, great. And maybe you lift the heels, and that should give you a little extra space. Everybody continue that press down action in the arms. Okay, and then let's come on out of that, undo. And take the feet a little wider. And just an easy windshield wiper, let the knees go side to side. Arms, maybe they go overhead or out to the sides too. Let it be kind of a relaxing thing. And the next time the knees drop over to one side, just stay there. It doesn't matter what side you're on. Whatever's the top leg, reach the knee outward towards the foot of the mat. And then undo second side. And whatever is the top leg, reach it outward towards the foot of the mat. Oh, that feels good. And then coming back to center, we've got one more pose. Take the feet so they're not quite as wide as they just were, but they're not together. They're just kind of hips width. And then the right foot will scoop underneath in between the left foot and the left buttock. So it comes under there, that's it. And then the right knee goes down towards the floor. Now, it might hover, and that's okay, but if it's hovering and it feels really grippy, put a block or something under the leg. That's the right leg. Then the left leg will come in, and you'll hold on to the leg with your arms. Oh, yes. Now, even though we're holding the left one, I'm expecting you'll probably feel it on the right one. Take a few more breaths here. We're nearing the end. And you're ready to undo. We'll set the foot down. Let's undo the right one, come back to center. And before we swap, just a little reset. Hands press on the thighs, just press straight ahead. Good, good. So we'll go other side. That'll be the left foot scooping under, and the foot will land in between the butt and the heel on the right side. And then the right leg comes in, and you can hold. Sometimes the two sides are very, very different. If you need to put a prop under the left leg, of course, do that. And let's undo. Right foot down, undo the left foot. Let's do one more time that thigh press. Yeah. And then if there's anything else you need, maybe just a last little stretch, little wiggle, anything at all, go ahead and take that for yourself. And next we'll head into Shavasana, our final resting pose. I'm going to turn out some of these lights so you guys aren't blinded. And of course, if you need any sort of proppage under the thighs or under the head, go ahead and set that up for yourself. Let the work be done. Allow your body to settle. And bring your awareness up into the neck. Relax the neck, the throat, your jaw. Relax the shoulders and the shoulder blades. Relax the arms, wrists. Bless you. Your hands. Take a little check-in. Is anything still efforting? Let all of the effort, all of the work go. Give your body this time to rest. Bring your attention back to your body. And to breathe a little deeper. Start to take some movement to your hands, your feet, maybe your head. Maybe you take a little stretch in the arms. Whenever you're ready, let the knees bend and roll over, meet on one side. And then from your side, take your time to come up. We'll meet sitting, hands at heart center. Thank your body everything that it's able to do. And thank yourself for showing up. Namaste.